Good morning. Good morning. It is indeed another good morning. This is Attorney Clint Parrish. You are live on Intex News Radio, reality radio. Everybody could be a star, and it is an exciting morning. I'm going to tell you why it's exciting. Because if you can hear the sound of my voice, that means you made it through another week, another day, and you are here to enjoy the fruits of your labor. So, good morning to you. Hope that everyone had a wonderful and happy Thanksgiving. Nice kickoff to the holiday down in Florida. The weather held up really, really nice, and got to spend some time with family. Ate more than I should have. And this week, my wife was nice enough to join me in a week-long liquids-only cleanse, so I'm thoroughly fleshed out, back down to my playing weight. And I'm happy to be in studio. I got my main man, Professor Tony Seabrook, who has survived COVID 2.0. Good morning, man. Professor. How are you today?
Good. I'm good. Good morning.
You're looking good. You look a little hairy, though. You look a little extra hairy right now. A lot more hair than normal.
Quick story, I've never dyed my hair, right?
Okay.
Never.
Okay.
But, this PhD program's been putting a lot of stress on me. So I found myself a couple of months ago, I'm going to try it out for my wife's sake.
Okay.
Never do a box perm. A box color. Anyway, it didn't work, so I figured, I'm going to get back to me. I'm a salt and pepper guy, always have been since my 30s. So, I'm bushy here. I'm looking like the Mist on Color Purple. Yeah, I'm here.
Yes, you are looking like Mr. Which, of course, the new movie has come out. And so my wife, I think my wife went to see that this week. She said it's 3 hours long, which I was happy I didn't go. Her and my goddaughter went. They all, did their silly thing. But she said it was 3 hours long.
The first one was as well.
It was about that long, too. It was a long movie. So, but anyway, man, I'm glad to have you in studio. I'm glad that you survived COVID for the second time. You look healthy and vibrant.
It's the headache strand.
Yeah.
Because I never really felt sick. It didn't give it away like I got a couple years ago when everybody else had it. But yeah, it was just a headache, that persistent headache.
Now, do you know where you think you got it from?
Oh, yeah. Me being me and looking at all these Democrats walking to the hospital with masks on. Look at these guys. We've been over COVID 2 years. And I go in there, and me also being me, I'm greedy, so I go down to the hospital cafeteria. By the way, they have great food. And that's where it got me, I believe. Because I heard somebody coughing, and I'm still that guy who's coughing in here? I give you twice to cough. But if you cough 3 times, I'm looking, and I'm staring you down.
Gotcha, yeah.
And that's where it happened.
Well, I'm glad that you survived, and of course, you're reminded of most people out there. Really, COVID is still with us. So there needs to be somewhat diligent. But hey, we don't need to be in a panic. We figured out now, I think, how we can best handle that. So I appreciate you coming into the studio. Now, did you went down to the Classic or not? Did you go down to the Classic?
No, wasn't my thing.
Yeah,
I'm done with that crowd.
And the Classic, of course, on Thanksgiving, leading into Thanksgiving weekend, you have so many people that get out and go here and there and whatnot.
I didn't know who won.
FAMU. They won the football game. I don't know who won the Battle of the Bands, which is a testament to, our focus at our HBCUs. It's more important how the band performs than the fans, though, man. But great political week. A lot of stuff happening. It's going to be interesting how we finish up this year. And whatnot. So a couple things on my agenda I want to talk about today, Professor, and I'll yield the floor to you for any issues. Your mind is, of course, this debate between Newsom and DeSantis up in Atlanta. I think it was in Atlanta. That was on Fox News. I thought was hilarious that occurred. Finally got, I shouldn't say that finally. But George Santos was voted out of Congress. I think there's only 6th time that's happened. We continue to have this thing going on over in Israel and the interesting management of that by our State Department and what they're doing or not doing. For whatever reason, I guess because of what happened in Israel, the issue in Ukraine is not nearly as important or pressing on our existence. And we've got the election as we turn this corner going into the end of the year. You're looking to take shape. I think, since the last time we talked, I think Rick Scott dropped out of the race.
Tim Scott. Yeah.
Tim Scott. Tim Scott dropped out of the race. So you got a lot of, the things in flux out there. So I'm open to start wherever you will. Why don't we talk about this Newsom debate? But my first question I have for you is, why would DeSantis take that debate? I couldn't figure that out. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, my first thoughts were I'm not watching it, and I didn't watch it. And certainly I went and listened to some clips, and I can read the transcript better than I can watch it because I thought it was just going to be two wimpy guys and just two guys who don't really make a difference now. So that was why I didn't want to watch it. Now, I think he took it because he needs to show who he is in a one-on-one. And I don't know that I can say just looking at the transcript and looking at the different, shows, I don't know that I can say he won hands down because Gavin Newsom is just so slick. I mean, slick in every sense.
Is slick or smooth or effective? Does it have to be slick?
Well, I would even say charismatic.
Charismatic, yes, he's very charismatic, I think.
But yeah, between the Jimmy Johnson hair and the Shannon Sharp veneers, I mean, I'm just the guy scares me, man. He's like well put together. I mean, that's like. But anyway, the answers, the back and forth, DeSantis he can't land a knockout punch.
Yeah. Well, if you don't, but I couldn't figure out for me. So you think they put him in that debate to try to let him show how because with Newsom though, and the first part was you made Newsom relevant.
Well, Newsom is relevant in the Democrat Party.
No, okay, explain to me how he's relevant.
Because he would be an alternative to Joe Biden.
He would be. That's like I would be in the NBA if I was 6'5". What do you mean if he would be? He's not.
But the only reason I don't think he's much of a candidate is because California does have some things going on. San Francisco, they talk about the homeless population, people leaving. So all the things that DeSantis talked about are true.
Every major city has a homeless issue. Every major city.
Not like San Francisco.
They just have more people.
So everybody don't have the same problem.
Every city you go to, every major city, because you know why they come? Because those cities have more resources to assist and help people. But you know.
So then, how do you just with that? If they have more resources, then what I thought was interesting was they took a lot of stats from the Wall Street Journal, which was a 2019-2020 stat: people leaving, people coming to Florida, people leaving Florida, whatever that was, or leaving California.
Right.
Well, we're in 2023. I mean, why didn't you get any more recent stats? I mean, is it because it's not as bad? Is California recovering from people wanting to leave and start businesses otherwise? I don't know the answer, but I just thought, when I look at a polling and it's that far back, you can get a national polling within the last year, so you could at least come back to 2021.
Well, I mean, there's no doubt in America, historically, we've had migration trends. We've had trends from different directions, different times, in the economic impact. There's been a drive. You think about this. People have been coming to Florida for about 50 years, right? Mm-hmm. People have been leaving New York for probably 100 years. People have been leaving California probably for 100 years. From the Great Depression forward, so certain populous states have not been this magnet for great transition to people coming there because those states, and I'll say that, are in a place where they no longer provide the opportunities that they used to.
Well,
you can get them other places.
They're overrun now because
no. I can get a good paying job in a lot of other places. I don't have to go to Detroit, Michigan, and try to get a job in the auto industry. I can get a good paying job in North Carolina somewhere, so I don't need to leave and go up there. That's what really people move for those economic opportunities. We try to reframe that as people are. The economic conditions or the living conditions are harsh, but I don't know we need to drop. I just couldn't figure out why, if I wanted to be a top candidate for president, I would go and debate, like you said, a slickster guy that I'm not going to be able to out-talk. And so, sure enough, we get into the debate, and what happens?
Well, again, so let me say it this way. I think it was a way for the Democrats to get a side view of Gavin Newsom in that, how much flack is he going to take? Who's going to really say what about him just in case Joe Biden does not make it? Don't act like Joe Biden is going to just walk into the next presidency. He has some physical limitations and he has some bad polling numbers. Those are real. So you need a backup. Who's the backup if you don't have a
tell you something. So that sounds like the mistake that Democrats made about Trump. That somehow this guy can't be presidential material.
No, that's
and guess what? It is very simple. There was, and I'll say for me, I was in complete disbelief. I thought in no kind of way would rational people vote for this guy to be president. I mean, it's just like what you know. But so we talk about about Joe Biden, and I think Republicans make the same mistake, not accepting the reality. The guy won once before. Newsom is saying I'm not running, but we have Republicans saying, oh, well, Newsom's ready to go as soon as Joe Biden does what?
No, I think that's just a teaser. He's saying I'm not running for 2028, but if anything happens to Joe Biden, what's your money? If if Joe Biden suffers a medical condition tomorrow, what's your bet that Gavin Newsom runs? What do you think the hedges are? What do you think?
I think you get 10 people running. I think it includes
Gavin Newsom.
I would include Gavin Newsom in that group, but it'll be subtle. It'll be subtle because, of course, you've got Kamala sitting there. She'll be immediately president. Here's your issue though. Suddenly now she's running from a position of I'm president, and that's very different. And so once somebody's in the seat, you get to see. Oh, wait a minute. I know we thought about her. You will start to now evaluate real decisions, not theoretical. But how does she handle stuff?
Tell me what CEO allows his VP of operations to run as CEO?
Well, this will only be the dynamic of if he couldn't. What we're talking about.
Okay.
If Biden, so Biden's
what
out.
CEO allows a VP to run as CEO if he's not CEO?
Right. I agree with that.
Okay. So there's a reason why I agree.
But there's no doubt Newsom is putting himself at the top of the pile.
Okay.
Right? He's putting himself way up the pile. Now, if I were Republicans, I don't think I want any parts of Newsom, because your standard arguments against Newsom kind of go away. He's stupid. He's they're all liberal Democrats. They're all liberal. They're all going to be theoretically, soft on military, immigration. They're all going to be the same. So now it becomes one. It's an eye test. Which one makes who looks the best. And as you said, the guy, he strikes a nice picture.
Well, he strikes a nice picture, but then he galvanizes the evangelical vote because we know that he's a big liberal. And the issue with that is if you get a guy like Gavin Newsom in, it's going to smile and let all these social policies come in, yeah. And then you have to worry about, okay, he'll definitely have California.
Well, that's given.
But can he get the moderate Republicans? Can he get the independents that don't like that heavy liberal agenda?
I think he'd have to move to the middle on some policies, and there's some open ground for that. With that being said, now, so we got this debate going. From what you've gathered, who do you think comes out benefiting the most out of the debate? And I won't use the word win or loss. That's different. Who got what they needed from the debate more so, to your opinion?
Well, I would say DeSantis didn't hurt himself. I don't know that it made a difference to the Republicans, but he didn't hurt himself.
But he didn't help himself, you know.
Didn't help himself. No, that's not going to boost his numbers.
You know what's interesting to me? I've never seen Newsom in action.
Me either.
He looked strong. He was ready to go. He was quick. Here's what I thought was he bore down on DeSantis repeatedly.
Mm-hmm.
He just stared at him, talked at him, said stuff like you're down by 40 points in your own state.
Yeah.
Your own people, you're going to tell the rest of America support you and your own. That kind of stuff. He just that quick little that finish, that line about something similar about both of us. Neither one of us be our party's nominee for president. Man, that was slick.
It was. Now, giving DeSantis some credit, that little storyline about the person moving to Florida, blah, blah, blah. And by the way, I'm Newsom's father-in-law.
Yeah, but that's everybody retired. Everybody retires in Florida. It's
but right. you don't do that to family unless you don't like family.
Well, not that you don't like them. You just do what you're going to do.
Yeah.
And not for you to like people. All right, raise your hand if you have a good relationship with your in-laws besides the Johnsons.
But
everybody else, the in-laws, the Johnsons are like...
I know.
The Johnsons, the in-laws, they all together. But everybody else, I get that piece. I thought that DeSantis gave Newsom a national stage with conservatives. Because on Fox News, there were a bunch of CNN watchers who said, let me tune in over there and watch this.
I didn't look at what the ratings were, but I'm glad you said that because...
They were good ratings. And Sean Hannity, of course, says he brought the ratings, not them.
My other thought is why would they do that as well? Not so much with Gavin Newsom, but
When we say they, who's that?
with Sean Hannity, because he's
What's
such
wrong
a
with Sean
Trump guy.
Hannity?
He's such a Trump guy. So that takes conversation and spotlight away from Trump, because that's his guy. Sean Hannity.
Man, Sean's with whoever he thinks can get. But also, he may have been setting DeSantis up with the idea Newsom will destroy him, and then I can tell Trump, "You saw what I did for you."
Yeah.
Right? I set you up. But I don't think Trump needs to worry about DeSantis unless Trump somehow goes to jail or gets convicted or something else happens. I mean, it's clear
we
to
know
me.
you can be a felon in Congress. We
Yes.
know you can steal money in Congress. We
Yes,
know you
yes.
can date Chinese
Spies.
spies in Congress.
Right,
so
right.
Trump, these convictions, he should be like, man, I'm good. They didn't kick this Santos out. I was calling him DeSantos for
Yeah.
whatever. Santos out. Yeah, I still got a chance.
Yeah, you're right about that. So listen, man, we need to take a break with that point of time in our show. So let's take a brief pause. I think we made it clear. I don't think DeSantis should have done. I thought that he looked almost to the point of disinterested. But be that as it may, there was some cleaning house up in Washington. We're gonna take a quick break. Come back on the other side, talk about that. You listen to In Touch News Radio. Reality radio, everybody can be a star. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break.
You know what? I do want to be like this.
What's that?
Hot mic moment. I do want to be like this. Every time I see him, I don't
You
know.
mean like he's like Bob Newhart, man. He's like Bob Newhart, man. The dude sleeps like this, and his hair's fresh.
That's a dark skin Jimmy Johnson. That's what I'm
Hey,
talking
man,
about.
oh, man. Hey, we missed that era. You know what I mean? We missed that era, man.
Look, I got somebody to do, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, not that I peeped the man's feet, but I saw him in some Sims. I said,
Good looking feet. Like, hey, man. He's Yes, he does.
Come see them two brothers in the grill.
Hey, man. They're assistant.
We got ribs, chicken,
Did you go out this morning?
Yeah, man. And this afternoon, man.
Oh,
and get you a
man.
nice smooth cigar.
Yeah, I got you guys meet up at Silverado, man.
I never played that.
It's $30 at 2 o'clock.
Okay. Yeah.
I almost came to play your course the other day.
$7?
Yeah.
I'll be there tomorrow and play.
And then, see that? There you go,
I
man.
know that's right.
Is it good condition or how's it looking?
I don't know. I hadn't played it in about 6 months.
Oh, okay.
Access granted.
I've been playing Whitworth.
By now,
Oh,
we're
yeah.
all
How's
aware
that?
of the
Could it be
dangers
good?
of COVID-19.
No, I'm a little
Like
disappointed.
others with existing
It
health
goes up and
issues,
down.
cancer
Yeah,
patients
yeah.
are at a high risk
been
due to
good,
their
but I'm
compromised
disappointed.
condition.
How much is
If
it
you
to
are
play out there
newly
right now?
diagnosed with cancer, your care likely can't wait. Moffitt Cancer Center is the best place for your
we gotta
cancer
set a
concerns
situation out
and to
of
provide
okay, my
guidance to help
son-in-law.
you plan
Okay.
your
You know,
next
in-law,
steps.
okay, my
We're here
son-in-law
for you.
and,
Call
nephew,
1-888-456-2839.
And which one
or
of your
go to
nephews?
Moffitt.org/here for you.
Well, you got Daytona, isn't he?
Tommy, I want to invite you to join me at the Kappa Alpha Psi family outing at Riverfront Park on Saturday, July 22nd at Riverfront Park in Tampa, Florida. Now listen, this event will feature Kappa Step teams.
Ricky,
Oh, it's all right.
You need medical or a lawyer. I got the man to do the legwork for you. We tried the other ones before, so believe me.
I know.
Now 813-248-6300. Everything gon' be okay. Call Ricky, he coming. He taking care of state of Florida. Grab a pen or sundown. 184-361 Rick. That's 184-361-425. Never word from the point forward, just recline. Just ask Ricky, plus your boy stay fine. Just in case you missed it, I'ma tell you one more time. 184-361 Rick. Call Ricky, ask Ricky is a legal medical referral service. The doctors and lawyers in our network are trained in handling auto injury claims and giving you the best medical treatment and recovery. Dial 1-844-361 Rick. That's 1-844-361-7425. Ricky. Ask Ricky.
All right, we're back live on In Touch News Radio, reality radio. Everybody can be a star. So, and listen, one of the callers said, "Clint, you got a hot mic moment going on in there." You may have heard us bantering about. well, you all know the DJ CEO is one of the best dressed executives to ever come out of the Postal Service. I mean, he's always looking fly, debonair. And he slid in here this morning looking like Billy D. Williams, and we, were just commenting on how his fine taste and style. Tammy married well. I know she married well. So anyway, we're back live in In Touch News Radio. My name's Clint Paris. I got Professor Tony Seabrook with me here in studio. As I mentioned earlier, he survived his second bout with COVID and is looking fresh and fuzzy.
Fresh and
fuzzy. So we talked about the DeSantis situation. Let's talk about the DeSantis. Let's talk about the George Santos situation. And as you all know, yesterday they voted to expel him from Congress. That was brought up on a motion by the Democrats, joined by a significant number of Republicans, and out he was 111 or something. Out he goes. I think as a result, up in New York, they'll be having a special election sometime in February or March to replace that seat. Was it about time? Did he need to go, Professor, you think?
I don't know that he needed to go, but I can tell you just on its face, and this is a part of the political game, he creeps me out. Gavin Newsom scares me with the smiling, but this guy just creeps me out. When they said some of the campaign financing laws that he violated, what he used the funds for, they said Botox. I said, there it is. I said to myself, that's what it is about this guy. He just looks
a little plastic.
He looks plastic, and I think one of the things was that he was a cross-dresser or something like that. And that plagued me from the first time I heard him. This was before they even talked about expelling him.
Okay.
So certain things stick in your mind, and if that's the case, I mean, with Hakeem Jeffries.
Yes.
He didn't like him, and I mean, he's pretty much gone in pretty solid on the guy, so he needed to go. And I'm not heartbroken that he's gone. Now, I do share some of the sentiment because, when I listen to some of the responses from that vote, MTG says she didn't vote for his expulsion, but I like the rationale against it. If we start to do this, as we alluded to in the hot mic moment, there's so many, and maybe in the last segment, there's so many other congressmen, senators, House representatives that have some issue with campaign financing. So does this open the door for the petty vote?
Well, Fetterman said, "Hey, I can't vote this guy unless I'm voting out Menendez."
Right.
Which the idea becomes,
the guy from Egypt, right? Yeah.
Well, no, I think he's Cuban. He's got had that.
He said Egypt. From Fetterman's thing was he's trying to be funny. He said,
yeah,
he's something from Egypt or something.
Yeah, but he's got all the money in his closet and bribery. I thought that the Santos doesn't reflect the value. One thing is, okay, you're in Congress and you run afoul of the law, but Santos seemed to come into the opportunity through fraudulent actions, and that I thought was what elevated his situation. Right. I can understand someone in Congress doing something and that results in some kind of charges against you, but I thought it put, at some point, Professor Seabrook, people have to have a value system that you use to make your decisions day by day. That has always been the issue with Donald Trump, that he has no value system. He's purely transactional. Each action that he takes is based purely on his analysis of the factors in there and how they benefit him in that space. Right. And so
I would say it doesn't have any values, but I agree that he's a transaction.
I'll say, the guy's life shows you ain't got no values, man. And poor Melania, she knows it. But be that as it may, and those kids, and the tax collectors, and the property appraisers,
forever, so they don't have the problem.
Which is what is the issue in that is it profitable for folks to run for office like Santos and live this life of luxury off of donations? Well, guess what? Every time Trump sneezes, he then says, and by the way, donate some money to me. You see the money being used to defend people or not to defend people and all kind of stuff. But I thought that there was no value. This guy everything was fraudulent. His family history, his grandparents were in the Holocaust or something. His mother was in 9/11, and everything that around this guy was fraudulently based. And I don't know that we can have our government built on people with that kind of
Well, now,
that kind of setup.
now let's step back because we had Elizabeth Warren, who advocated her family history, said she was Indian and stuff. That's how she earned that nickname Pocahontas. I mean, so we've had that, but like you said, his started. Although Liz Warren, that started before she was a congressman as well. But still, your point, I can see that that's how he took the opportunity to come into government, and he didn't know how to do it. I don't know. I won't say it the right way. It's like saying you don't know how to cheat the right way, but he's defiant about it.
Listen.
Like, what? You gonna vote me out?
I think it's the next step of development of what Hillary Clinton said about Donald Trump. He brings out the deplorables. And the next thing he did is not bring them out, and he now gets deplorables elected. Because I mean, the guy's deplorable.
Well, that I would say, but no, I would agree with that.
We got a caller calling in. Good morning, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Good morning. This is Lisa. I'm calling from Tampa.
Good morning, Lisa. How are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you. Enjoying this nice, cool weather here.
Well, good. So tell us, what's on your mind this morning, Lisa?
So I wanted to comment on the Santos story. I have been waiting for this day for months. I mean, I felt like just celebrating yesterday when I saw him walking out of Congress. And I think you really touched on the difference, Clint, Attorney Harris, between Menendez and Santos, because you don't even know who this guy is. There is just so many lies about him. And with Menendez, of course, he was acquitted, I think, the first time around. I doubt if he will be this time. But, yeah, he should be found guilty before being kicked out, I guess. But Santos, it's just so much, and I think with the email or the text that one of the representatives sent out the night before or the morning of saying how much money he had stolen from them was just like the tip of the iceberg. So that have to get more votes because I think the day before they didn't think they had enough votes. They didn't really whip the vote. So
Right.
I'm excited. I'm so glad he's gone. It's like the Republicans almost just they stood for nothing by letting this guy stay in there. This desperation or keeping his seat.
But what about the Republicans who joined with the Democrats and voted? Do they get credit then for standing up for good American values in some way?
The Republicans who joined what?
With the Democrats voted out. You know, there were, I think, 111 Republicans helped voted to oust him as well.
Well, both they can come together on something. I mean, come on. This was an easy one.
Is it? Well, he survived with
For a
Lisa.
lot of them. He should not have been in there as long as he stayed in there, in my opinion. So.
Right. But what about the idea of voters decide who their representatives are? And if they want, somebody who's deplorable, then they get to have a deplorable. I don't, you shouldn't say the guy's deplorable, but they get someone who's less desirable. But what about the voters in New York who voted for him now?
But they didn't vote for him. They voted for who they thought.
They didn't vote exactly. They didn't vote for him. Who knows who he is?
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
What he stands for, his background. I think most of his resume of, like you said, he ran on a bunch of lies. The voters didn't know who he was or he is, and there's a lot, I guess, once you get in there for the voters now to get a petition going to get you out. Congress should have done that for the voters.
Got
The
it.
voters didn't know him. Who knows him?
Right, exactly.
And he is creepy. I totally agree with you. He's creepy.
Wait a minute. Hold on, Lisa. We've got callers calling in who agree with Professor Z. This has never happened before. We never get callers.
This is like a huge celebration for me. That guy creeps me out.
Thank you. See?
Well, a lot of those people in Congress creep us out. Well, Lisa, thank you very much.
McCarthy.
Go ahead, Lisa.
You're welcome. Great show, guys.
No. You had a comment about McCarthy?
Oh, well, I think once McCarthy was gone, it was easier to remove him. Because, McCarthy was really trying to protect that seat.
Right,
And I
exactly.
think they all-
All right, well, listen, when we get the replacement in that New York seat, I want you to keep listening. Call us back and tell us what you think about his replacement, okay?
I can't wait to see a Democrat in there.
Ah, there we go. There we go. All right, Lisa. Thank you very, very much for calling in.
All right, you all have a great
Take care. Take care. That's Lisa calling in from Tampa. Appreciate her listening in, as always. And all our callers out there, I apologize. I have not given you all the numbers. 813-444-958. Yes, we do take calls. If you want to call in, join the conversation, feel free to do so. Professor, we reached the 10:30 time period. Let's take a break. Come back on the other side. Let's kind of see where the race is and where everybody's standing right now. Because when Newsom said DeSantis down by 41 in his own state, man, that stuck with me. So we're going to take a quick break, come back on the other side, and continue this conversation about with the polls and where things stand. This is In Touch News Radio. Reality radio, everybody can be a star. We'll be right back after this quick break.
Yeah. But yeah, he's something about it. And then you see when he walked out, his coat was draped over his shoulders. Like, those men, those dude is just crazy, man.
But listen, I think you need to watch some of these clips from the Trump rallies, man. There's some weirdos out there hanging around. It's like it's all get out, man. And of course, you know, it's kind of like when they show in the hood, they show the worst person possible that saw an accident. It's kind of like that's who they interview, and they tell some weird stories. You know,
I never see those clips.
They're hilarious. You need to see some of those. When they go and interview people at the Trump rallies about stuff, and they are crazy.
Transition onto Medicare, sometimes Medicaid. I also help people with life insurance, long-term care insurance, and annuities. Please do not try to navigate Medicare without me. It's complicated. 813-476-4837.
All right, we're back live on In Touch News Radio, reality radio. Everybody could be a star. I want to thank Lisa for calling in, sharing, and I want to mark the tape. We might need to make this a commercial. We had a caller agree with Professor Seabrook. It didn't last long. It was quick. You know what I mean? It was quick. It was like online dating. It just, it was
right.
It was snappy. It was, right. But it's good to see that people are out there and they're concerned. And hopefully we can get back to more value driven kind of a government as opposed to the personalities and some of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We'll see. I have faith in democracy. But what she mentioned something also about the voters, and I feel for voters. You said it. They voted for someone that wasn't who he was. He made up an image and a personality or profile and completely fraudulent.
Well, before we let that point get away, one of our favorites, and I would say, Barack Obama was one of my favorites. He shifted in going into his second presidency on a very key issue that wouldn't have gone so well had he not shifted. We know what we're talking about there. So Trump is one of the only ones that didn't shift. He came in, the guy you saw, he came in, brash mouth, he didn't shift. He didn't change. So they knew who they were voting for, Donald Trump.
Yeah, that to me is scarier than almost anything. It's one thing that you think, that guy, you like you say, he changed. He's not what he said he was going to be. The fact that they actually voted for Trump, knew what Trump was, and he gave him what he told him he was going to give him, and he said he's going to give some more. If he gets back in there.
And that's why Hillary was taking pot shots, because they knew who Trump was, and they still voted for him over her, and still 4, 5, 6. She's still swinging. She can't give it up. Every chance she gets, he's hitting her down. Deplorables here. She can't let it go.
Well, but what she says is true. We'll leave that alone. So let's move on. Let's talk about the current status of the race, where things are. I think I said, earlier in the show, or maybe we were discussing things that Tim Scott got out of the race. Tim Scott.
Mm-hmm.
He's out of the race now. There's a little bit of consolidation. We've had Kennedy move over to, I don't know where he's at.
Yeah.
Independent. You've got Joe Manchin now throwing his name in the air as going out and talk to the middle of America. I don't know what he was saying. He's not going to run for Senate, but he's going to be out campaigning, talking to middle America somewhere. I don't know what it means. He's going to, I guess, go to Iowa. I guess that's middle America. And we've got an inverse. I think since the last time we had a discussion about this, Trump is taking the lead over Biden. In most polls,
Right.
which I find quite interesting.
Well, it's not since the last time, because last time I was on here, he had the lead. So I know you guys like to downplay that.
So let's talk about, what do you think the reason is for Trump's ascendancy over Joe Biden?
Essentials. While the economy is doing well, we're still paying more.
I mean, grocery bill, those
Essentials,
inflation.
right? And I think they said it's up like 18% since he's been in office. You're paying the average American, I think they said they equate to $11,000 more since Trump's last month in office.
Let me tell you something. I don't know anybody since Trump's been in office who's lost their job, lost their home.
But that was only COVID.
Let me just say, but since not Trump, but since Biden's been in office,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know of any despair I can point to. When I go to the grocery store, I see people say, "I can't believe the price of milk," as they take the milk and put it in their jug, in their basket.
They still need it.
They still get it. No, I mean, they're still buying.
Right.
The last time I was in the airport, I couldn't. It was packed.
Mm-hmm.
Concerts come to town. They're sold out. You go to try to buy a car, you can't get a car. Why? Car dealerships don't have cars. People are buying left and right. I went to the mall, over the holidays. Mall is packed. I'm trying to figure out where's this economic despair in America. I hear the grumbling and the griping, but where is it where people can't do what they need to do?
Well, I don't know if it's a matter of what they can't do, but it's circular, because if its poll numbers are down in those very areas,
Yeah.
then you can't ask. I mean, if I need milk, I'm going to get milk. But you think I'm going to, if I have a chance not to pay $5, you think I'm not going to pay it? I'm not going to pay it. And if this guy's the reason why, as soon as I can get rid of
now,
it.
let's ask you this. What specific policy has he enacted that you think has raised the price of milk?
Well, I think the economy itself. I think inflation itself. So the way I understand it, the way I agree with it is when he came into office and he attacked the fossil fuel industry, that spiked, that set off inflation, and it's a ripple effect.
Well, let me ask you
It's
this,
a ripple
though.
effect.
I saw gas coming in here
Mm-hmm.
way lower than I've seen in a long time.
You know why?
Now, what policy has he enacted that has brought the price of
You
gas
know why?
down?
Because now we're making more fossil fuel. Something that he attacked when he came in. But guess why he has to do that? Because he has to get some poll numbers. We're not stupid.
You
Or
think,
maybe
so
some
you think
are.
you think there's
This is a yeah.
so what policy though said, hey, pump more gas? Because I think the policy is the same policy. I think it's a manipulation of the price. It's a free market functionality.
Well, yeah.
See, you're talking like America is socialist and the government just moves levers to
No.
impact the economics.
No. When Biden came in, he pushed this green legislation. This is where we're going. We're going electric cars. We're going this. We're going that. We're going wind turbines and all this good stuff. Something that's not sustainable for.
Has that gone away?
It hasn't gone away, but it's been tamped down. Why? Because no one can afford. No one really wants it. Electric cars aren't in demand. That was something being forced on by this Green New Deal. But you still got the inflation. You still have the ripple effect from attacking the fossil fuel industry when you came in office.
Listen, I got listeners out there. Who are waiting to get their electric vehicle, who've been dying to get electric vehicles.
They can get one.
You go to most places. I'll tell you. I said this on the show the other week.
Mm-hmm.
I rented a. What was it? Was it a Prius? What was that? Bezel? I mean, Avalanche. You were here.
Oh,
What was it? I rented a the Toyota Prius, and drove to Montgomery, Alabama. It cost me $30. 30. I drove from the car went so far it messed up my bathroom brake. I had to readjust, because I got my bathroom brake scheduled. And I'm waiting for the car he need a brake before I need a brake. The car was like, man, get out of here, we ride, bro. I spent $60 to go 1,400 miles in that car.
There's already a chip shortage, and we don't have EVs.
That's China. But is that a Biden policy
There's already
issue?
issues with the battery, and did we know that the efficiency of electric cars goes down in the wintertime when you probably want it to be at its best? It goes down.
I mean, I don't.
This is not a very in-demand car.
I tell you what's really in demand.
It sounds good.
That new Tesla that came out at $60,000. The new brand. Oh, buddy. Yeah. Now let me say this:
Is it the,
if you ever watch, let me tell you this: you ever watch the recalls on gas-powered cars? You know how massive they are. How massive the issues are.
What do you mean? They'll be a bit more specific.
Meaning every year you have hundreds of thousands of cars recalled for various issues. Why?
That has nothing to do with the gas.
It has to do with the cars not being perfect. There is no doubt in my mind, from what I've experienced, the future of transportation is going to be based off electric.
So you think we're going to get away from gas vehicles?
Oh, they're gone. Not that we're going to. They are gone.
Not going to happen.
And not even in the U.S.
Believe that not going to happen.
I'm going to tell you why they're gone.
Why?
Because there are major forces affecting the economy that doesn't have control of oil. See, America has a lot of oil, so guess what? We can say keep our oil-powered cars. But places like China that doesn't have any oil, they're going to force the world economy to shift because one they're going to do is they're going to go electric. And they're going to work out all the kinks with electric vehicles, and slowly.
Don't believe it.
And how about this though? Almost every major car manufacturer already announced we're getting rid of our gas-powered cars. We're getting rid of them, 35, 50. We're getting rid of them, so you won't have a choice.
So how are you going to concede?
Go ahead. We caller. We got you on the line. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Lisa again. I just had to call back on the Tesla conversation.
Wait a minute, Lisa. Wait a minute, Lisa. Did you take that personal, or do you own a Tesla by chance?
I've actually been to the Tesla dealership off and on for the last couple of weeks. That place is crowded.
Okay.
And when I bought my first Tesla.
Whoa. Did you just flex on us? Did you say your?
Oh my God! I just flipped.
Did you say your first Tesla? So you have more than one Tesla?
I don't think she needs to be on the call. She's not why are you calling in here?
Go ahead, Lisa. The professor wants to hear your thoughts.
We are now a family household of Teslas.
Okay.
We have 3.
You have 3.
The 1%.
We have 3. My son recently bought one because they're offering $7,500 as a tax credit.
Okay.
And they have other offers too. There were some other ones. For instance, I'm thinking of getting the Y, and it has right now even more reductions than the Model 3 or the Model X, which my son has the Model 3, my husband has the Model X. I have a Model 3, but I'm going to get the Y. So they're giving a lot of benefits right now. In addition to the tax credit, there's like a $500 additional reduction. And I would never go back to driving a gas car if God allows me not to.
So tell me about your experience at the dealership. What was happening at the dealership?
There are so many people at the dealership. My next door neighbor has 2 Teslas. They're everywhere now. So, like I said, when I got the first one, I waited almost a year. They actually have the Teslas on the lot now.
Okay.
You can get delivery now, like in a day, same day. So it's much better. And I totally disagree with the comments about how bad the economy is. I see it's just different when you walk outside, and I just think the news stations need to stop saying it all the time, how bad Biden's numbers are, because the economy is doing really well. I think people have a short memory when people were dying right around them of COVID. you know, a few years ago, and Trump wasn't doing anything.
Oh, stop it.
Man,
You mean the president they tried to impeach? They didn't even give COVID a chance. They didn't care about COVID. They wanted to get the president impeached on COVID. You're talking about that time when they weren't even trying to take the vaccine because they didn't trust it, but gave it 2 months later. Nothing happened different with the needle, but then they took it when they had the gavel. Come on, stop. We're not going for that.
Hold on. I want to hear more about this driving. Lisa. Ask him, did he get the vaccine, though? That's what you need to ask him. So, Lisa, let me ask you about your driving experience in Texas.
So I still remember.
So tell me about your driving experience. Tell me about the Tesla driving experience. You said you wouldn't go back. Why would you not go back as it relates to owning an electric vehicle? What about the whole needing to stop to charge and all that stuff?
Well, you know, even when you plan a trip or if you're just around town, the car will tell you where the charging stations are, when you need to charge and when you don't. And we installed a charger in our garage.
So you charge at home?
You know, right now, if you refer somebody, they give you 6 months of free charge, too.
Oh, how about that?
A lot of things going on here.
Outstanding.
And when we were out of town recently, we had a gasoline car, and I was like, what is that smell? And it was a gasoline.
So the regular car drivers are smelling and they don't even know it.
I already know. I already know what kind of neighbor she is. What is this peasant driving this car?
Well, Lisa, we appreciate you calling back in to clarify this.
The cars are so easy to drive. For instance, the Model 3 is like driving a little golf cart, but it's so fast.
You know, we're not going to send you anything for all these comments. Elon might hit you. We're not going to give you anything for all these promotions.
Well, thank you, Lisa, for calling in. I appreciate you listening in.
I'm all for helping the environment, guys.
Yes. Thank you very much, Lisa. All right, that's Lisa calling back in. Lisa, since they own 3 Teslas, average American citizens here, average working class folks, you know, in a regular neighborhood, with 3 Teslas in the garage and looking to get a 4th Tesla upgrade. So here's what I think, though, Professor.
The third Tesla upgrade.
Yeah.
But they're so easy to drive. I'm not a young person, so for women out there who are older, it's the easiest car to drive there is.
All right.
Don't be frightened about being electric.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much, Lisa. Appreciate it. All right, bye-bye. That was Lisa calling in. So listen, Professor, here's what I'm saying about the economy is this. I don't see concerts empty. I don't see ball stadiums empty. There are these commentators talking about how bad people are doing, but people, when you go out, they're living well.
So you think if they didn't get rebates and incentives, they would buy?
Yeah, they probably buy them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the same kind of rebates you get for buying the big SUVs. The big trucks.
I've never got that. I buy used.
Talk to your accountant.
I buy used.
Let me refer you to my accountant. See, there are a lot of incentives out there for all kinds of vehicles. You know, and that's always been the case. So that's nothing special here. That's always been the case. All I'm saying is, let's talk about the economy a little bit. I really believe people's real experience is different than the commentary we hear.
But you didn't believe that when Trump was in office. When things were good for African Americans. Well, it's not that.
No. He didn't say He didn't say good for African Americans. He claimed the lowest unemployment rate. And guess what? Trump's unemployment rate is less than, Biden is less than Trump's was when he was in office. Let's come back. This is In Touch News Radio. Listen, you're out there, you want to call it 813-444-9588. Anybody else want to take issue with the professor, please call in. We'll be right back after this spring break. I love it. An average American family, 3 Teslas in the garage.
That is not average.
And the next door neighbor has 2 as well.
And listen, here's the cost of that. We're going to have the housing bubble on automobiles.
In my I got at least 5 electric vehicles in my neighborhood. At least 5. On my street. I don't have one. But at least there's an Evian, or Rivian.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is it Rivian? All right. Oh, yeah, man.
That's all I should do. Put it on this side of 30. But I couldn't get it. It's on.
No, I'm just hearing music.
Yeah. It's still easy to
You want to fast think through
Who
that.
doesn't love being number one? When your team's
So,
dominating the standings,
but yeah, my
or
neighborhood.
your favorite band rocks the
I got a Jag next door. Then there's a BMW.
Good,
I
right?
can't tell you how many
Kinda like
Teslas
how
up
it
and down the
feels when
hill.
you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel
And-
like number
and
one is
seeing
an honor
how,
your local State Farm agent takes seriously.
other
Through the
stuff
good
you
times
see,
and not so
electric
good,
motorcycles.
Your State Farm agent's proud to be here to
Electric
help
scooters.
life go right.
Everybody I go mountain bike ride. Everybody's coming up with these electric bikes. The mountain bike ride.
Hey, this ain't right.
Everybody, all the
Some of the regular bikes.
Come see them.
The electric bikes go. You can go further, you can go higher, you can go faster.
We got ribs,
As a motorcycle.
No, bicycles,
Why would I
pedal.
want to? Why would I then reduce?
and get you a nice.
See, that's it right there. You wonder why we have medical issues. Hey, get the bike. Don't worry about that.
And, well, because you have to ride, so we ride and ride the trails. We have high hills to climb. You have to stop. So at our age, to keep riding, you have an electric vehicle unless you keep riding.
Are these supposed to be incentives for health or convenience?
Yeah, they're convenient.
Okay. That,
Sometimes
Yeah.
so why we out riding the bike
I also
for
help people
convenience?
with life
And it's
insurance,
exciting.
long-term care
It's like
insurance,
that.
and
It's like I go out riding
annuities.
Bomb Boy. Yes, it's a 2-mile ride in. So you gotta ride 2 miles to get into the trail. So you're like on the way out, I've been riding for an hour and a half. That's a long ride. 2 hours. So
This
you hit the
does not
boost,
make
button,
any sense
hit the
at
boost button, and the
all.
bike just.
Seriously,
It's called technology.
I got a bike, but I'm gonna use electric. I don't even pedal. So I thought we talking about a motorcycle.
Professor, it's called technology, man. It's coming. It's coming, man. It's
Sometimes you
coming.
have to say no.
Hey, man. I like the day you let go of your pager, man. It's technology coming. Hey, we're back with Intake News Radio, reality radio, right? Be a song. Got the professor in the studio with me here on. And we try to figure out. So I was trying to say to you, and we got sidetracked. Is I really believe people life experience are different than what they're saying. You know, I was at a friend's house one time. This has been a while back, man. We got by in back of his house, standing by his pool, and I walked by his paid for Jaguar in the driveway, and he was commenting on me on how the man is holding us down. I said, man, I'm standing out by your pool, and I paid for a house with a Jaguar in your driveway as you sweep your pool. What man is holding you down? You know, if this is what holding you down looks like, but he was so conditioned to just not enjoy the fruits. I think the economy is better than people are open to saying it is.
So it's what I'm hearing is when Trump's in office and people say I'm doing well, I think they're drinking the Kool-Aid. They just don't know. They're low-income voters. They're low-income, and not low information, this and that. But under a Democrat president, I can buy an electric bike. I can buy an electric car because I get incentives, because I feel good. But clearly, I see there's a sticker for $5 half-gallon milk. Clearly, I see that.
Yes.
And you're trying to tell me, although I know mathematically that's more than I paid last or 3 years ago. I know that.
Yeah.
My salary didn't go up 20%. It did not.
I think it did.
No, I don't know anyone's salary who's gone up 20%.
Well,
Maybe my household's been less, so we
absolutely.
need to go and look into that.
Absolutely.
Because clearly, I know in my household, my wife does not go certain places and won't buy certain things because of the price hike. Maybe it's just us. But let me mention this side conversation I just had. I was told in all this technology, and this came in the same context of Teslas and rebates, right? That you can buy a bike, an electric bike.
Mountain bike.
Electric mountain bike.
E-MTB. Electric mountain bike.
In normal days, when one would buy a bike,
yes,
they bought it for exercise, travel, build muscle mass, blah, blah, blah. I'm being told now you get the electric bike.
Right.
It goes faster and it goes higher.
Right.
So my concern is, well, why not buy the bike? I can just buy a motorcycle.
Okay, let me tell you.
Go higher,
Okay,
faster.
so I am a mountain biker.
Right.
I ride a mountain bike. I got a Fuel Trek 7, 2013 with the upgraded sprockets and shocks. It's a double suspension bike. All right. I have physical limitations on that bike. I have things that I can't do because of my age and physical condition. They're just unable to do that. One of them is we go out and ride, and we may ride in a go out for a run. We may ride somewhere between 10 to 13 miles, which is it's about an hour and a half of riding. It's very exhausting, right. And so you may come across a climb that may be an incline that you got to go up. So because I'm physically unable to do, I have to stop, click out, and walk my bike up that hill, and then get back on the bike and ride. But if I have an electric bike, I hit my boost button, and guess what? I just ride on up the hill, and over the top I go.
So your ego is overinflated, but your
no, the experience. Because I don't have to stop, get off my bike. I got a line of 8, 9 guys. We're all stopping, huffing and puffing, and walking up a hill, as opposed to
a part of the process.
Hitting the boots. So let me say where the bike comes in again. Last summer, we took a trip to San Francisco. We're going to bike the San Francisco Bridge, right? I got my wife and my daughter e-bikes. Right, so that they can get it. So they go across the bridge. My son and I, we had regular bikes, and that bridge kicked our butt. But they had a wonderful experience because you just hit the boost button.
Because of technology.
Right, exactly. That and there's no way around that. Every golf course I go to, they've gotten rid of their gas golf carts. They're all electric.
I'm for that. Small space,
and I think in the local transportation area, the force and the convenience of electric and the maintenance piece, the maintenance completely changes with electric vehicle.
Well,
that's
the
other
maintenance
piece.
may change, but I don't think the price tag changed.
Well, you see the Cybertruck is coming out at $60,000. The Tesla
already hit
60. It just came out.
It's already hit some, and I think it's some limitations. But let me go back to.
But I can't go buy an F-150 for $60,000. That's the difference. Is
don't get
expensive.
into a housing buying something you can't afford. Don't listen to
You heard Lisa. They got 3 Teslas. Their neighbor has 2 Teslas. And I bet if you let her talk some more, you'd have found out about a lot more Teslas floating around. And but going back to the e-bike, it's convenience. It enhances the experience.
Okay, so what my thing was, if I buy a bike, I'm buying it for exercise. I'm not buying it for convenience. To me, there's nothing convenient.
You can be both. It can be both. Because let me tell you about
so one who lifts weight. So what happens when I'm older and I can't lift?
You need an electric boost button on the weights, so the weights don't push themselves, and you can keep lifting. You don't have to quit. Because the old guys, the young guys come out, they will go bike ride. Those young guys will leave us behind. They'll pull off. We can't keep up.
Back to an ego thing. Young guys doing this.
Yeah, well, you can't go as fast anymore. You can't get as much exercise, and so guys don't want to ride. So anyway, so I'm lobbying, people. Hey, look, if you have an opportunity to use technology to enhance your life experience, hey, look, I'm all for it. All for it. But going back to the economy, I absolutely believe our economy is doing much better than we let on. And we got in that conversation, Professor, and the time just got. We only got 3 minutes left. Go ahead, tell us your closing thoughts in your mind that you want to share with our listeners before we have to
I'm
get out
stuck in
of
this
here.
technology thing, and I've been in technology for 21, 22 years. And I teach IT, I teach information systems. But I don't have that type of mindset to where if it's just because technology has a significant downside. It makes us lazy, it makes us compromise in a number of different ways. I don't know that I would say it's okay for, if you can afford it, just do it, because that's what I'm hearing. I mean, Teslas, you can afford it, go get it. I'm going to get 3, I'm going to get 4, I'm going to get an electric bike. So anyway, my whole thing on technology is don't let it manipulate you, and don't let it make you do something that you wouldn't ordinarily do. I mean, there's some common sense things. If you get something for exercise with it.
Look, man, hey, listen, I had my early life existence was heavy labor. And anything I can find that makes my life less laborious, I'm inclined to lean in that direction. But, there's a balance. There's a balance we have to find within all the things that we do.
Yeah, our account. Yeah, we can't afford it. On our end, we can't afford it. But on his side, the balance is really good.
Listen to him, man. Listen, I want to appreciate you for getting up and coming in this morning, Professor. I want to appreciate all our listeners. I want to appreciate our callers. Lisa's back. you know, and I appreciate her reaching out to us, and maybe, you know, hey, everybody will have a Tesla one day, or some electric vehicle they can cruise around in, or electric mountain bike. Who knows, though? So, hope you have a great rest of your day. Enjoy whatever it is you're getting into. Enjoy this wonderful fall weather, winter weather we're having now, and be safe. We'll see you back here next week. Like that. Listen, that e-bike thing is, the bikes are about